totally weird. Totally weird. So I'm on a DCT Africa Twin in black. I've just taken the rally out. Oh, this feels great. Wow. I've just taken the rally out, and he's just, I think it's Chris at Virtue, who's been absolutely brilliant, by the way. Totally recommend Virtue, and they've been great. Fantastic dealership. Some dealers you walk in, they're like, just, you know, totally ignore you. Not this place. So cheers, Chris. So I'm on this DCT, and they're knocking these bikes out now. I mean, this is just, it's just crazy. I'm pulling up here, I'm not changing gear, I'm not doing anything. I mean, that feels slightly odd. The way that it's sort of pulling, and I can feel it sort of drawing me to the car in front. So I can stick it in neutral at the light. So I'm in neutral now at the lights. I just I'm going to be pulling that handbrake as a clutch soon, I can tell. So I'll put it in drive. What a piece of tech this is. Really is. One thing I found last time I tried the DCT was I just wasn't keen on the bike making the decision for me about changing gear, but there's just so many options now. We've got this lovely Tiptronic option where, you know, you can, so there, did you see that? So I'm in fifth doing 30 miles an hour, which I wouldn't tend to be doing. I wouldn't tend to be doing 30 miles an hour in fifth gear, but I can just drop it down if I want to. I mean, one thing that's just really noticeable about this DCT is what a sort of calming ride this is. I quite like the fact that I'm not having to constantly sort of jump around on the gearbox, and I feel very relaxed. Is that what I want for my riding experience? I don't know. One of the things that's quite interesting is the sort of deceleration of the bike. The acceleration, it feels, honestly, it's seamless. I'm just not even noticing. I can't believe I'm in 6th gear. It just feels totally seamless. The upshifts as you're going up the box, the downshifts, I can feel that a little bit more. The gearbox has got so many options now. So I'm in tour mode at the moment, I think. Yeah, so that's user, that's gravel, urban I'm in now. So you've got to make sure you've shut the throttle and re-engage the throttle for the mode to change. I'd like it to tell me which mode I'm in up there. Can I feel the difference in that mode? No, not really. Okay. I mean, these downshifts, I can feel that, and I can feel that I'm having to use the brakes more to pull the bike up, which is quite interesting. Engine braking, that'll be the difference, wouldn't it? So let's have a look. So that's tour. Let's just increase the engine braking. Can I do that? I don't know if I can. I'm going to wait until, I'm going to stop and see if I can do that, because some better, stronger engine braking, you know what, I really quite like this kind of ease in which I'm riding this, the fact that I'm not up and down on that gearbox all the time and having to do clutch first, clutch second, clutch. I quite like the sort of rather composed feel of it, and I just think, you know, I've driven a Golf GTI recently with this Tiptronic gearbox and just thought, fucking what an incredible piece of engineering and what an incredible piece of technology. I mean, those downshifts, yeah, I'd like a bit more engine braking there, but I think certain modes have stronger engine braking capabilities. This is the black Africa Twin, and it's a sort of satin black, I think. I quite like it. I think it looks quite stealth. Quite like the look of it, and I really like, I mean, this seat feels comfier. I can sense it's just an easier bike to ride. The fly-by-wire throttle makes a big difference, I think. It's a lot smoother, it's not as vibey as my bike. Again, you know, I've always felt, I love this bike. You know, this is not a really review. I love it, I own one, so I'm totally sold. Whether I'm sold on the DCT is kind of what I'm thinking about now, and at the moment, I really quite like it. The last time I rode one, I think I mentioned before, I just didn't quite like that the bike was taking the control out of my hands. This is where I'd like a little bit more engine braking there in those situations, and I'm going to put it back in first gear, of course. And one thing I'm a bit concerned about as well is me revving the bike at moments when I shouldn't. I think you must be able to, you must get used to that. It picks up okay. I mean, I think we're in tour mode. We can change power. I think this is the sort of what I can do. I mean, those buttons as well for kind of up and down through the gearbox. They're really easily kind of, they're in such natural positions there. Can you see the minus and the plus? That is, you know, so if you're feeling like you want to be more sporty and you're feeling like, you know what, I've had enough of sort of pottering around, you just got the ability to just change it up, and I think the bike's expecting you to sort of, yeah, the deceleration's I'm not keen on, but the bike's expecting you to kind of, if you've changed down, it'll go with you. But I think once it's realised that you're not interested in that anymore, it'll kind of put you back in drive mode and sort out your gears for you. The bike feels lovely and tall. I feel very much sat on it and in it. Strangely, it feels incredibly natural. It feels a little bit wider than mine. And the DCT, you can feel the extra weight, that gearbox putting an extra few pounds on the bike. That is rather noticeable. Yeah, I think if I was gonna own this bike, I'd probably would play with kind of user settings and have a go at keeping playing with my own variations, like the power setting, the engine braking setting. I'm not sure how many engine braking settings there are, but I think I would be interested in creating my own sort of custom model that I was happy with. But from the get-go, I mean, it just feels very natural, a very natural bike to ride, and I imagine, right, so it's put me back in drive. Yeah, you do feel that a bit, it's a bit different when you open it up. You can feel the kind of, it's not jerky, I wouldn't describe it as jerky, but you can feel the movement between the gears in a way that it felt seamless when I was at low revs in a sort of urban setting. Alright, let's pull over and just have a look at the bike, and I'll show you some of the differences. But I'm in fourth now. I like that. Feels good. Feels quicker. I like the option as well of, you know, sort of, do you want to take it easy? Do you want to be sporty? Do you want to just sit there and let the bike do everything? Because you can do that. If you don't want to do that, you can be flappy paddle Lewis Hamilton. It's not quite that, but you know, you've got lots of options, which I really like. Let's turn down here, this little road. Let's see what it's like this sort of speed then when you... Yeah, it's very good. It's that gearbox. You don't feel the kind of movement and transition. It's not a jerky thing at all. When you open it up in tour mode, I mean, you know, fifth, that's not doing a lot. So this is tour, I think. Let's have a look. So, I tell you what, let's pull over. Some of you might recognise this is a place where I introduce my red speed triple. Lovely view. Let's just have a look at the bike. There it is in black. I feel a bit of a traitor riding a black one. Looks good. I really like those gold graphics. It really sort of pings a bit. The bike looks great. I mean, I love the Africa Twin anyway. It's got Bridgestones on it, interestingly. They've ditched the old Dunlops. So this is the DCT model, and you can see this stack of tech on the side of the bike that you just don't get with the manual bike. Couple of changes to the airbox. This exhaust is slightly different to mine. It's got a lovely growl to it, really nice growl to it. Rear grab handles are slightly changed and a bit narrower. Nearly got killed by a car coming past then. Again, a couple of things I'm looking at slightly different for the DCT model. I don't think there's that many changes. The screen, the clocks, grab handles, exhaust. That's about it, I think. So we're just going to have a play, because what I'm interested in... That's nice. Oh, that's very nice. So that moves us through. Where's that gone? Right, okay, so mode. So that's in user. That's gravel. That's urban. That's tour. So power, let's sit on the bike. Power in 1 is the... So user, power 1, engine braking 3, traction, that looks pretty good to me. How do you change that on there? So I've put it in user mode. So I've got power in its highest setting. It's a bit mucky, that. I've got engine braking, I think, at its highest, and then I've got traction control sort of mid to high, so it's more sort of invasive. Right, we're in neutral. I mean, the bike, I'm so impressed with this standard exhaust. Honda have got it spot on. That's what you want a standard exhaust to sound like. There's no need to go rushing out and buying cans when they sound that good. Pretty amazing. So there's obviously things to get used to, things like the handbrake, which I think, I'm not sure, there must be a, yeah, so that's handbrake on and then handbrake off. It's very clever, isn't it? Right, I'm in sport mode now. Oh yeah. Right, so in sport, yeah, so that just holds the throttle and holds the gear for longer, really. That's all it's doing, I think. So if you're feeling a little bit exotic about things, I don't know if I want to. No, I'm not going to go through the Ford. I don't think it's a sensible thing to do on a lone bike. And I'm all about sensible, of course. Let's try, what's it like turning then? Because usually you blip the clutch a bit here. Oh, that's good. So that's holding the throttle a bit longer. I quite like that. And you've got three sport choices as well. So you can, obviously it's about how long it leaves that, how long it keeps that gear for you. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde bike, really, a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde box. You've got the ability to sit and drive, and you just, you know, I'm just sitting on here having a rather lovely time. I suppose many old school people would think, well, it's not proper bike ride, isn't it, without clutching gears and, you know. But I suppose when you get to my age, you know, I'm pipe and slippers, me. I'm all about stroking pussies, do you know what I mean? On my lap, I mean, in my pipe and slippers. And when you put it in sport mode, or when you use that Tippy-tronic, you got a bit of, hello. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it so much. I'm thinking of chucking my tricolour one back and getting one of these DCTs. And I'm looking at, I think, a similar sort of price, a similar sort of payment. That's the, you know, that is the benefit of PCP, I suppose. That you know, you get a new bike, you're just basically renting it, aren't you? Come on, mate. Right, so here's where you're a bit like, oh, but you can do this. Yeah, like it. Still lacks a bit of poke, but it sings a bit better in that mid-range, I think. Careful here. Right, handles so nice, this bike. A bit heavier than the manual, you can feel that weight. I like that Tippy-tronic. I mean, I imagine after you've had it a while, you just stop pissing about with it, just sit and drive all the time, and just potter around. But I just love that ability to go, yeah, let's have it, Tippytronic. I'm in charge. I really like it. So, final verdict on this bike, the 18 Africa Twin. Love this fly-by-wire throttle, love the user-friendly ability to, I suppose, adapt the bike to you, really. You've got all this kind of change. Alright, mate, I nearly killed you then. You've got all this ability to customise it for your preferences in terms of power, engine braking, traction control. You've got a gravel setting. This G button seems to add something. I'm not quite what. I don't know quite what yet. I think that's the groovy button, is it? And you just press that and you just turn, and Car Wash by Rolls Royce, I think it is, comes over and you start, you know, turning 70s sort of funk. I don't think so. Anyway, I'll shut the fuck up. I'm going to take it back. I'm going to have a think about buying this bike. That's how good it is. That's how great it is. Peace out, people. Peace is out. How strange.